Mono Rants at the Movies, a podcast where we rant about films you may have seen at house parties. I'm one of your hosts and jack of all trades, Mono, and carrying me in her arms to hide my stink is my co-host and master of none, Kira.
What makes a difference from dragging you around the place by your head?
Yes, like a caveman with a big club, and me getting pulled along behind you with the long hair I don't have anymore.
Yeah, no, well, in fairness, the last time you got absolutely shit-faced and I had to, steer you by the back of your coat.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we are at the halfway point in the Twilight
because
Saga.
I'm now regretting this.
Ha! Good.
Because I've forgotten just how it was different when they were coming out, and there was a couple of years in between.
Yeah, but when you're watching them
back to back,
which we pretty much are.
Fucking Bella is just kill me. If her and Edward weren't in it, it would actually be kind of fun.
Well, yeah, I was going to say that I did somewhat enjoy parts of this film, and if it weren't for the two of them, it would have been a good film. But then they kind of are somewhat integral to the plot. But anyway, yeah, so it's Twilight Eclipse, aka Twilight Origins, aka What Not to Do When Courting and Dating. Because fuck me, do Edward and Jacob both make some choices in this film.
Yeah, this is like Twilight's backstories.
Yeah, well, I didn't mind getting the backstories.
Yeah, no, I actually, Jasper's backstory is really interesting, and I kind of want it because he's
I'd like more of that.
Yeah, because in the books you get the descriptions of there being these massive vampire clan wars. And all these armies of newborns literally just tearing chunks off each other in the middle of nowhere in Mexico.
It wasn't even necessarily that I just want more action. I'm just this is interesting plot stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's about people getting manipulated by other people for different purposes and doing shit they don't want to do.
Rosalie's brilliant scorned woman moment. She's like, I got my vengeance.
Yeah. You don't actually see any of the violence, but then that's these films.
Which is remarkable for David Slade.
Well, I mean...
Who made probably one of
our favourite vampire films.
Yeah, no, because that
previous episode, 30 Days of Night.
That overhead pan in 30 Days of Night where there's just people running and screaming and there's just blood spurting across snow and everything.
I actually think it comes across in this, particularly not so much the stuff we've seen already and the characters we've seen already, but all the stuff to do with the newborns and in Seattle and how they act.
They very much have that, a very slight version of that look. If he had Danny Houston in this,
it's just the way he shoots it and the colour palettes he uses are very similar. And I like visually this film is the best so far.
Yeah.
There's some really nice stuff in this, in and around Jasper's flashback as well. There's some really nice visuals. I think they did
that thing where they shoot day for night or night for day.
No, it's the bit after Jasper's backstory when Bella's having the dream about him in the past.
Oh, with the whispering and that shaky
camera. Yeah. That was cool. I really like that. But one cool shot does not a good film make.
No.
And this is still not a good film. But again, marginally better than the last.
The money train was running. They did offer this to the director of the last movie, but he was so busy in post-production for the last film when they were starting pre-production for this that he was just like, nah, fuck it, I'm not doing that.
He was happy to have an excuse not to do it, probably. But yeah, no, it's
God knows fucking Robert Pattinson tried to find an excuse not to do it.
It's better than the last two. It actually feels a bit like a blockbuster type film. It doesn't mean I like it, but it has more of a blockbuster feel.
Because Twilight the first one has very much indie low budget feel about it. And I don't mean...
They tried to have an indie low budget feel about it.
The swirly cameras.
The second one...
I don't think I'll ever get over the swirly cameras.
The second one, I think they were just trying to get a little bit more into it and being like, right, this is big, so we need to make it big.
Yeah, I think with the first one, they were like, this might not go well for us, so we're not going to put that much money into it.
Yeah, God, if only.
Yeah, but teenage girls and their mothers.
Yep. So, shall we do a summary and crack on with it? As someone in Seattle starts to build a vampire army, the Cullens try to figure out who's behind it. Well, the Cullens except for Edward, who's busy lying to Bella and arguing with Jake. But as the danger grows and the vampire army gets nearer, the Cullens and the werewolves will have to put aside their differences and work together to stop the mysterious leader of the army, who is obviously Victoria.
Yeah. You spent most of this shouting at them.
I was just,
Okay, if it's not the Volturi, it's Victoria. Victoria, all they have to do is ask the wolves.
Whatever.
But their whole, little fucking bitchy rivalry.
No, whatever about them not knowing who's responsible for the vampire army and all the newborns at the start. Yeah. But the second Alice has a vision of them passing around Bella's scent.
Yeah, and they still don't get it.
There are two options. The Volturi, which they vaguely mentioned could be responsible for it, and Victoria, who they just don't mention at all until Bella somehow figures it out.
Victoria really annoys you as well.
Oh, she's not a she's supposed to be this big overarching villain, and she's not. She just like dips in and out of the film, and like.
So you know the problem I have with little Nina. That there's
they keep telling us she's a badass, but they don't show us it.
I do like her in this one where she's like bits of this one where she's very like coquettish.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh Riley, they want to hurt me and you don't trust me. But they also changed actresses as well.
Yeah,
you
see a little bit more of kind of her manipulative side and stuff, but she's not, like you were saying in the last film, she's supposed to be testing the boundaries.
Yeah.
Show us, like, how are we supposed to know that? Like, all we knew was that she wanted Bella, so they were just chasing her off. We didn't, like, if that's supposed to be her testing boundaries, tell us. And especially considering I was giving out last week about them over-explaining things.
This time they kind of went the other way.
But that was the last film I was giving out about as well. Like, some things we're just supposed to try and figure out what the hell's going on. And other times they're banging us over the head with it, like it's so fucking obvious. And I'm like, just pick a lane. Either explain it all or don't explain any of it. Like, but yeah, so the film opens with some rando getting turned into a vampire, and I was like, oh, cool, the film's not starting with a stupid bit of Bella dialogue.
Yeah.
And then it does. Lo and behold.
Yeah, and it's not even a good bit. It's not as soon
as
we see Bella, we get Robert Frost.
Yeah.
Which literally I think every single Irish person went, ugh.
Yeah. But just before
leaving, sir.
But just before we get on to Robert Frost, given everything we know after the plot,
why is she kicking the shit out of him?
Why is she kicking the shit out of him before she's turning him?
Maybe to test him, to see if he's worth it. I don't know.
But especially considering her whole thing then is to manipulate this guy and I love you. Would his first question not be, then why were you so fucking horrible to me before you turned me?
I don't know. Unless she comes up and is like, oh my god, what happened? Because he doesn't really see what happens. You don't even really see the hand bite until he's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, how she bit him on the hand is another question.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just like, that maybe don't be so mean to the person that you want to try and manipulate immediately.
Not gonna lie, when he's like, what are you waiting for?
Oh no, what do you want?
Yeah.
It was absolutely
Power Thirst commercial.
Yeah, what are you waiting for? Yeah, no, that was definitely Power Thirst for both of us. But yeah, so we get a shitty Robert Frost poem.
Yeah, we can do without the Robert Frost, thank you. But
Bella's studying, Edward is not.
No. Well,
Edward is proposing to her again, and I was like, did she not say yes at the end of the...
No.
I know she gasped, but I assumed it was gasp and then followed by yes. And
no, I don't think she has said yes yet.
No, she doesn't, because he asks like 6 times in this film.
Yeah.
And it's not until... And in fairness, I was laughing.
It's like, dude, get two.
Oh, well, I meant to give out about it last week, because when he first says marry me, he doesn't even bother getting down on a knee or have a ring or anything. No, he just turns around and
demands it.
I know I didn't propose to you with a ring, but that's a different story entirely.
No. You did ask my father for permission, which was very sweet, and he very much appreciated it, because he's very, like, old-fashioned, middle-class British.
Yeah. But he doesn't...
That was more important. Like, he didn't care.
When she finally agrees to marry him is when he actually gets down on one knee. Every other time, it's like, that's all she's been waiting for. She's like, I'll say yes as soon as you do it properly. Oh, well, yeah, the negotiations come now, where it's like...
And where you got the hilarious reveal that, you know, he's a virgin. He's a 119-year-old virgin.
Oh, well, that didn't come till later on in the film, where I was like, why is he like this? And you were like, he's also a virgin. And I was like, oh, so much makes sense right now. So much makes sense about the entirety of this film. His ridiculousness, his ridiculous possessiveness.
Oh my God.
His reluctance to have sex with her because he's put sex on a pedestal, because for the last, 100 odd years he's been thinking about sex but not having it. It's just, oh no, this film, the Bella and Edward and Jacob stuff is the worst so far in this film.
Yeah.
It's the other bits of the film that for me save it, because when they're going on about turning her into a vampire, and is it there when they're in the field where she's like, I only have until graduation, or is that a bit later? No, it's a bit later, sorry.
That's a self-imposed deadline that she keeps being like, I only have until graduation. I was like, yeah, you picked that.
But yeah, they have a conversation about marriage and about turning her into a vampire and him wanting her to experience human things before she gets turned into a vampire, which, fair enough. And then she goes home and Charlie accused Edward of brown nosing him, which I thought was quite funny.
Yeah, because she's like, I gotta go home, I have a curfew.
And he's like, yeah, I'm with
Poor Charlie.
No, I'm with Charlie, because I gave out to him last week for setting boundaries but not enforcing them. But
well, in fact, he set a boundary and she left immediately.
Well, yeah, but here he does seem to be. He's like, look, I'm not just grounding you for the sake of it, And then he's like, well, look, it's
his whole thing about I want you to have some distance and some perspective because you've become so and engulfed.
I'm assuming because of the 4 o'clock thing, he thinks she was in school that day.
Mm.
Well, because it's 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
And why, if he's saying to her, you're grounded, but I'm going to change the grounding under the condition that you hang out with people other than Edward.
Yeah.
Well, he says as well, so obviously he knows she's going to hang out with Edward. But why would he say that if he had allowed her to go and spend the day with Edward?
Yeah, I don't
So
know.
I assume she was supposed to be in school and played hooky with Edward. But he's been like, look, you stop being so fucking like,
when they were alone in the meadow in the middle of the forest.
No, but Charlie's thing of like, just go and talk to other people.
Yeah.
You can't just be with him. And more importantly, your friend Jacob is going through a tough time and could use a friend. And do you not remember last year when you were fucking screaming all the time and he was the only one who kind of helped you out? Maybe you should go and do the same thing.
Yeah, because Billy's worried.
So he rings...
Well, she's all like, oh yeah, she pulls out a letter, and the letter is a letter that's actually like in the book where he's written a whole lot of stuff and scribbled it out about why they can't be friends and things just have to be the way they are, but like he can't be friends with her while she's with them, kind of thing.
I did like that the final line was just, it pretty much summed things up, was I miss you too, but nothing has changed.
Yeah, that doesn't change anything. Like, so fuck it.
But
so she does eventually go. She leaves Jacob with like what, 1 or 2 messages just to be like, hey.
Yeah, I think it's to imply that there's been a bunch of messages, and she just decides, you know what, I'm just going to go over to him.
Yeah.
So she gets in her car, and her car won't start, and Edward shows up, and the implication...
He doesn't show up. He's literally in the seat next to her.
No, you hear a big bang, which I assume is supposed to be him landing on either the roof or the bed of the truck.
Yeah, considering they keep
and
jumping on a really old truck.
You do see, I think you see his face in the out the back window.
I wasn't really paying that much attention.
And then as the camera pans around, you see him in the car, but you don't hear the door open or close.
A little bit more concerned with the state of her shocks if they keep jumping on the fucking truck like that.
I'm a little bit more concerned with the fact that he stopped her car from working so she couldn't go see somebody.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Like, red flag straight away.
If he was like not a vampire, no, even as a vampire, you're like, dude, come on, seriously, fuck off. Autonomy.
Yeah. It's a bit much.
Yeah, he is incredibly controlling, and it just seems to ramp up more and more.
He's like, you know, why do you want to go see him anyway? And she's like, this is like my last chance before graduation. Q us going, what the fuck has graduation got to, like, why is graduation when you think you're going to be turned into a vampire? Why does it have to be graduation?
Yeah, she's like, oh, I'll do it after, because she said at the end of the last one, she's like, I'll do it after graduation because that way, you know, I can put in alibis. It also
this was the other thing.
It also means that she can get used to all of her new powers and strengths and get control of the bloodthirst before actually attending classes.
Okay, but like at the end of the last film, she was like, I want to be turned after graduation.
Yeah.
And Edward said, no. Why don't you wait 5 years? And she said, no. And he said, okay, how about 3 years? And she said, no. And he said, okay, how about 2 and you marry me? Or what? We couldn't decide whether it was 2 or 1. But at the end of the last film, it seemed to be 1 was the agreement. Yeah. But all of a sudden it's graduation again, and she's like, oh, well, this is my last chance to see Edward. This is my last, Jacob. This is my last chance to see my mom before graduation. It's like, you're deciding that.
Yeah.
Like,
you decided it was graduation. If you're having cold feet about it, yeah, you can push it out. Like,
and even if it's just a case of, oh, I didn't get a chance to see one of my good friends. Don't turn me today. Give me a week. I'll go see them, and then I'll come back and you can change me next week. Like, this dead set graduation thing that she has is just fucking stupid. So she doesn't go see him because her car's broken.
Yeah.
And they're in school the next day.
But he shows up then. Well, we get another one of Edward being just an absolute fucking shitface.
He doesn't show up for a while. They go to school and...
Oh, yeah. And then things like, I'm going to have another party. And everyone's like, really? After the last party that went so well, you're going to throw another party?
Well,
I do like
Edward
Jessica, though, being like, I've never been inside their house. And Mike's like, yeah, no shit. Nobody's ever been inside their house.
But Edward
like,
is
I would go to have a look at the house. Like, I would just be like, it's where the weird, like, rich doctor family live in this, like, really fancy house in the middle of nowhere. I'm going to go.
But Edward...
Just to have a nosy.
Edward is more... reserved and concerned for his sister's feelings in this than he was when he ruined the dinner in the first film.
Yeah.
And Bella's the one who goes bitchy, as opposed to the other way around, which it had been. Like,
yeah, because Alice does look a little bit like scolded.
She looks really... No, she looks hurt.
Yeah, and
because she basically...
a bit like...
Because the implication there... So, the way I took it was Edward is like, oh, another party? As if to say, hey, do you not remember the last one wasn't great? Maybe don't invite... That was just one human.
Yeah.
Maybe don't invite the whole school over.
But that again has
which
the whole,
fine,
like,
but...
Jasper's sitting there in a cafeteria full of kids with sharp utensils.
Oh, we've covered the Jasper being in school thing. It's done. But, yeah, so Edward is trying to conserve her feelings and not hurt her too much and just be like, look, maybe it's not a good idea, another party. And then Bella comes straight in with like, oh, because the last one was so great. And it's like, fucking hell, Bella, you've basically just blamed the vampire who's the nicest to you, who's not trying to get in your pants. Well, actually, neither is Edward, but you know what I mean.
No, her pants, her chastity belt is well and truly fucking, safe.
But yeah, so she's really harsh towards her. She basically like, oh, everything that happened with Jasper and Edward and all that in the last film is your fault, Alice, because you had the birthday party for me that I didn't want. So therefore, everything that happened in the last film, me nearly killing myself, Edward nearly killing myself, the Volturi nearly killing us all, is all your fault because of the party, Alice. And I was like, whoa.
Okay.
Whoa, Bella.
Nasty. Alice has a vision.
Alice has a vision.
Everyone tries to cover her up, like, to distract it. But you could be, like, Alice could just be upset about what Bella's just said to her. And Jessica...
Well, that was actually what I thought. But then, because I don't think they focused on Alice getting a vision before.
No.
But because when she gets visions later on, it's like, oh, she's getting another vision. But she
just kind of disassociates a bit, so you could be like, oh, okay, she's sulking.
She's upset. Yeah, that's what I thought it was the first watch. And then they were like, oh, she had a vision. What was it? And it's like, although I did like the fact that she immediately knows. She doesn't even bother asking Alice. She's like, Edward, you can read her mind. What did she see?
What did she say? Yeah.
He won't tell her. No. He says it's fine. Nothing big. She only has visions about important life-changing events. But no, this was nothing big. Like, he could
have literally been like, oh, stock exchange is going to do this because that's why they're so wealthy, is she has insider trading.
Then they'd probably have to explain that, though.
Yeah.
He does kind of fob her off a little bit about the vision, saying that he tells her about Seattle and how there's careless vampires there.
Yeah, and it's just, she's just watching them.
Yeah, he kind of fobs that off.
He's dropping her off to, the sheriff's station, and that's where you get Riley's parents. Your man who gets nommed on at the very start. His parents are there talking to because that's how you find out, he's from Forks.
Yeah.
Oh, he's from Forks in Victoria. Had a go at him?
Yeah,
or somebody done eat him.
I think that's where you realise that it wasn't just some complete rando that we had never seen him before, but he's not just complete rando, he is important.
And then Edward drops the plane ticket bomb.
Yeah, Charlie comes outside and they're talking and he's like, oh great, is it him for dinner as well? And he's like, oh,
it is still just the two of us. And he's like, no, but my parents want to remind you that you have a round trip about the airline ticket because it's about to expire.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, in front of her dad, really? Because that's the thing, is he's like, when she says what it is, he's like, oh my god, that's really generous.
That's absolutely why he says it in front of the dad, because he's a manipulating bastard. Yeah. Because if he says it in private, she can just be like, no, it doesn't matter, you guys have a shitload of money, you can just buy me another one.
Yeah.
If he says it in front of Charlie goes, they're after spending a lot of money on that, Bella, don't let it go to waste, go and see your mom.
And also go see your mom.
So she has
a free trip to go see your mom.
No, but you know what I mean. Because he says it in front of Charlie.
So she takes the sparkly vampire.
Well, it's 2 tickets, which Charlie isn't pleased with. He's like, oh, great.
To Florida.
Yeah. Where even the mom knows what's up.
Yeah, the mom's like, it's a bit weird.
She's like,
it's
a bit weird. Like, he moves, you move. You're like magnets. It's fucking intense. And it's like, no, it's not intense. Well, it is, but it's fucking weird too.
And that's from like the diehard romantic who's like, yeah.
Well, she's not really a diehard romantic. Well, in the books you were saying she's not a diehard romantic because she's on like marriage number 5 or something.
Yeah, she's been married a few times.
But
she keeps trying. God love her, keeps trying.
Well, no, it's one of the... It's not necessarily subtle, but it's one of the kind of better aspects of the writing in this film, in that Bella's like, turn me into a vampire, turn me into a vampire, turn me into a vampire, and all these people around her are saying, don't rush it.
Yeah.
But
take your time.
But not obviously. The mum is saying there, like, just,
you're still young.
Yeah, you're still young. You don't have to, like, don't go somewhere just because he's there.
Because she's going to the University of Alaska.
Yeah. And she's like, yeah, look, don't tie yourself completely into this person.
Yeah, don't make choices based on him, especially when you're so young and you're about to go somewhere and meet a whole load of different people.
There's a few bits like that where people are having conversations not about it, but that totally relate to Bella's choices.
Yeah.
It's more obvious with the
valedictorian speech.
The graduation speech, which I kind of like as a graduation speech. Yeah. I like it.
Make mistakes.
Yeah,
do stupid shit.
Not enough people who are finishing high school and secondary schools and are about to go to college are told, you don't have to know what you want to do with your whole life. You're only fucking 18.
College is the one time in your life where you have the most amount of freedom with the least amount of responsibilities.
Yeah, so fucking enjoy that.
Yeah, enjoy that. Like, do silly shit. Like, the amount of stuff I should have been arrested for over the years, but we somehow managed to get away with it because we were on a college campus.
Yeah. Yeah, so while I assume it's while they're off. We don't know until afterwards, but while they're off in Florida, the vampires are chasing Victoria along
like
a river,
that.
and she jumps over
when she's doing the boundary run. I like the boundary run. Is one of my favourite bits.
I liked it a bit, and then I got really annoyed when Emmett goes to jump across the line.
Oh, and has when they're shouting at him as well not to go. But I like the fact that it was a better kind of display of their powers and how they can run that whole side
visually
of like
cool. Yeah. I liked it. It's just that bit where Emmett jumps over.
Yeah,
and
then Paul's all like "fuck you," but he's
whichever wolf it is is about, well, maybe not about to, but they're right up behind Vic, and then they turn and knock Emmett back into the river and have a bit of a standoff, and it's like, why? I know you guys hate each other and you don't want them on your land, but at the same time, this is the vampire you've been chasing for ages as werewolves.
Yeah, and
now the other vampires who you know are not good, but like also not necessarily evil, also are chasing her. Work together, guys. Like, you know what I mean? It was just, that was a bit, I was like, I mean, I suppose it's supposed to show this is how,
this rivalry runs so deep.
But, like, catch the evil vampire and then kick him off your land.
Yeah, the one that keeps making excursions. And she just turns over, she just has a look and is like, alright, I can use this.
Yeah.
Just wanders off.
Yeah, so then after that, it's back to school. Edward is driving Bella to school.
Yeah.
And for some reason, he says, I don't suppose if I told you to stay in the car, you would. And then he gets out of the car without actually asking her to stay in the car. And she gets out and goes, oh, I knew it. And it's like, you didn't ask her, dickhead.
Yeah.
But and then...
you didn't... And he doesn't even say, if I asked you to stay in the car. It's like, if I told you to stay in the car.
Oh, that's
like you're... Yeah.
But either way,
he
doesn't actually ask and or tell her to stay in the car. He just says, I don't suppose you would.
Nah.
And
then we get that moment that's like that meme where it's like it's the lady on the phone who's like, ooh, girl, I'm going to have to call you back.
Oh, as...
when Jake turns around in the rain.
Why is he facing the door to the school?
So that they can have the reveal and so that extra can walk into the step while she's trying to have a look.
He's gone to that school to see Bella at the time the school starts.
Yeah.
When everybody's walking in, and he's looking at the door as if he's expecting her to come out.
I know.
But you're that extra who's like, ooh.
Yeah, and then she trips.
Yeah, you're a piece of hotness.
Yeah, she's like, hello. Because it's bucking in rain, he's in a black t-shirt, it's plastered onto him, he's on a motorbike.
Yeah.
And he don't go here.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, you can see that, because people are looking at him like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah. But there's one of many stupid standoffs between Edward and Jacob. But in this case, Jacob is right because he's like, you absolutely should have told her.
You didn't tell her? Of course you didn't
tell her. Any of it.
And then he's like, Emmett and Paul just had...
Well, that's what he started.
Yeah.
He says...
They had an altercation and he's like,
ostensibly, that's why he's there, is to say, stay off our land.
Yeah.
Next time it won't just be a standoff.
Yeah. It won't be a warning like
Bella's like, the fucking what now? And Jacob's like, well, you didn't tell her then. I suppose you didn't tell her about Victoria.
Yeah, Victoria.
And that's probably why you fucked off to Florida in the first place.
Well, that's also it. It's like he left town. Charlie said you're out of town. And he's like, oh, he's checking to see if you're still human.
Yeah. But he's, which is fair enough. But yeah, he's right in that he really shouldn't have lied to Bella about that.
Stop retaining information from her because then she goes and makes stupid decisions.
But especially
she doesn't know everything that's going on. Also, why does she have this huge big thing in her head where she's like, oh, the werewolves are weak? Well, no, they're not, because the vampires are clearly kind of scared of them.
Onto that, because she just keeps going. It's later on. It's more when they actually make the agreement with the werewolves and the Cullens, and she's like,
get hurt.
And as much as I'd like to skip over half of this film to get to that. Where were we? Oh yeah, so
she leaves with him because she's like, speaking of, where are you? I left you messages, and he's like, I had nothing to say, and she's like, well, I have plenty to say, and then takes off after.
Well, Edward tries to hold her back,
and she's like, fuck no.
Yeah, she's like, no, I'm going with him because fuck school. Even though she's like, I have to study in the first.
I have an English.
Well, then why aren't you in school? And then she buggers off for the weekend and comes back,
and then doesn't go to school.
Leaves school.
I know it's your final year, but.
Where she tells Jacob to stop smiling.
Yeah. Shut up.
Just stop smiling.
It is a beautiful view of the Olympia National Park, though. That road, when they're the next one where it's just panning up the road.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, gorgeous.
And
that whole area is so pretty.
Some of the scenery is beautiful.
It's all like, was it Olympia National Park? It's just outside of Seattle. It's absolutely stunning.
she spends the day with him. She goes over to Emily's place, isn't it?
They take her to Emily's.
I like how all the wolves are excited. She's going in being like her usual Bella self.
Nobody's
gonna like me because I'm a loner and I go out with a vampire now and you guys hate vampires. And all the werewolves come out and they're like, Bella!
I just like the fact that they're like puppies. They're like big rambunctious puppies and they're all like fighting with each other and messing with each other. I
like the bants they have.
Yeah.
When they're like, oh, now that you're here, we don't have to listen to him talk about fucking or think about you all the goddamn
Where's
time.
Bella? I wish what Bella would call. Yeah.
I like that they rip the piss out of each other.
Yeah. Because his Jacob's main two are Quill and Embry. So Quill I think has joined at this point as well.
She makes a point. She's like, you've joined the pack as well.
And Emily comes out, gives her a big hug, and then you get to meet Leah, who is Harry Clearwater's daughter, and then his son Seth.
Yeah.
And Leah's the only female werewolf, and then there's a whole love triangle thing going on that side. And I do feel for Leah in that because it's bad enough when somebody leaves your ex, somebody starts dating somebody else. But when you can read your
then you have to join their gang and read their mind
all the time. Yeah, no wonder Leah. I'm kind of Leah's. And she's trying to prove herself.
Probably not going to be great to Emily either because she's not a werewolf.
Yeah, but she doesn't have to live in that love fest.
No, but now his ex-girlfriend is in the pack and they can read each other's minds and she can't read his ever.
Yeah.
So that's not going to be necessarily easy for them. But we get the whole explanation then.
Yeah, it's a bit
about Leah and Sam and the imprinting and
how weird the imprinting is.
Well, not so much how weird the imprinting is. It will be. I know that, and I know later on I also have an issue with it. But there, it's just he's kind of like, look, it's not necessarily like Sam did it to hurt Leah.
No, you see them, and your whole world revolves around
you
them.
have no choice in it. And Bella's like, has it happened to you?
Oh, in her whole stupid pick-me girl way, where she's like, I don't want the attention and I don't want this, but I secretly like it.
Well, she said it last film, and he was like, I'm never going to stop trying to get with you. And she's like, I don't want you to because I love the attention and I'm selfish. And it's a bit of that, because she's like, have you imprinted on anybody, i.e. me? And he's like, you'd know if I had.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough, because you presumably would.
He's probably the most honest out of all of them. He does tend to lay it all out.
Do you know? Yeah, he's on that actually. Yeah, because he pissed me. He did and does piss me off in this film.
But he's so honest about everything.
He's nearly honest about everything he does. He just goes about things very wrongly.
And, again, he's 16 and hormones are raging on top of being a werewolf.
Yeah.
We were all kind of stupid at that age.
Yeah.
He still handles situations, I think, better than Edward does, because he understands the importance of sharing knowledge and information with Bella.
Yeah.
Because Edward tries to keep her in the dark. And she runs off into stupid shit.
Yeah, whereas he nearly goes the other way and he tells her everything, even things he shouldn't.
Yeah, but she can make a more informed decision that way.
True. But that's kind of all we get from them at the minute. And then we see Riley in Bella's room and house, checking things out, having a sniff and staring at Charlie in the face.
That would have been so funny if Charlie had woken up. I also wanted a scene of Charlie chasing Edward.
Well, no, but the bit that follows it cracks me up because she comes in. And Charlie's like, where have you been all day? Yeah, so I see. He doesn't even he doesn't have the good decency to bring you home for meal times. Yeah, and she's like, oh no, I was with Jacob. And his demeanor changes immediately. Thank fuck. But then
there's a knock on the door 2 seconds later.
But that's
because he's super psycho stalker boyfriend.
That's what I loved about Charlie there, is he hears the knock and he's like, well, if you've been gone all day, you've been gone all day with Jacob, I know who's at that fucking door, so I'll leave yous be. And she opens the door and he's fucking distraught. Oh my God, I almost broke the tree. Oh my God. Oh, it pisses me off so much. I know, he's such a whingy little bitch in this one, isn't he? It's just, I think I said it to you last night, part of the reason that annoys me so much is because when I was a teenager, I was a little bit like him. Yeah, but you weren't 119 at the time. No, I wasn't even 17 at the time. Yeah. But I was a little bit like that, and I think that's part of the reason I don't like it, is I'm like, oh, I remember being that asshole, but I was never that bad. But also, he's just so fucking you are 119 or 117 or whatever age you are. You were definitely over the 100 mark. Cop the fuck on. And especially because she's incredibly in love with you, and you know that. You don't have to be fucking worried. And it's later on when she goes to Jacob again and they're kissing and he's like, oh, hurry back, and she's like, I'll only be gone for a few hours, and then she kisses, they have a horrible kiss, and she's like, oh, actually, yeah, maybe I should hurry back. Ugh, die. I think they were going for tortured soul I know what they were going for,
thing,
but they just make him come across as a fucking asshole.
But in fairness, they do the same thing. I think it's the After series. He's a bit of a dick like this too, only he's not a vampire. He's just a raging after. It was like it was like After We Met.
Oh, I've heard vaguely.
That was a book series.
Will
as
not watch them.
Where Harden he's like the book. He's basically the exact same character.
I hate this. Why are you telling me about another film that I'm going to hate? Let me finish talking about this.
It's the kind of thing, it's rife in young adult books, is that you have this like tortured soul and oh my god, he's so dreamy because he's so mysterious and like he wears all black and he's kind of scary.
Yeah, until you see him freaking out at your door being incredibly needy because you hung out with another boy for a few hours.
Yeah.
There's nothing dark or mysterious or troubled about that. It's just a sap.
That's a phone call for a restraining order.
But I wish.
Can you...
So...
In fairness, it's the sheriff. He could do it.
He runs off... he runs into the house because he smells something.
He's like, oh no, there's something wrong here. And there's definitely a scent in here.
And he grabs the dream catcher, I think, and at first you're supposed to be like, oh, is he just upset about Jacob? And then he's like, no, I smell another vampire.
Yeah. No, because you see Riley like touch it and touch a
couple
of other things.
Yeah.
So they go off, he takes her back to the house. And Jasper and Emma come in and are like, oh, we lost his trail. And you were like, how the fuck did they lose his trail? And I was like, maybe he got in a car.
But I was like, the trail would still be there. It would just be slightly...
It would end at a road or whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
And they start talking about it and about what's going on and somebody hunting them.
Yeah, that's where the conversation is about...
The wolves can help us. That they're going to need... Because they're talking about it having to put a guard detail.
Oh,
and she's like, you can't guard the town and guard my house and guard my dad and keep yourselves fed, because a lot of this, they have like real black eyes, the Cullens do, and it's because they're starving.
Yeah, because that's where the first comment is about who could be behind it.
Yeah, and they're like, is it the Volturi coming to check on you to see if you're still human? Because it would make sense if the Volturi just popped in to have a little sniff around. Is she still here? You know.
Yeah. And I think there as well, they mention, or it might be later, where they mention that the Volturi or Arrow wants Alice and Edward and knows that while the Cullens are around, they won't get them. Yeah, well, so that's why they think.
That's why they think it might be behind the army. It's like, he won't do anything. They might wipe out the rest of us so he can get them. Like swoop in, save the day, just as the rest of the family gets killed. I think that's kind of Arrow's MO anyway.
Yeah,
is kill off everybody he doesn't want.
Yeah, so that they have the conversation about protecting Bella. And
Bella suggests the wolves.
She suggests the wolves.
She's like, there's a whole other pack of wolves who are like, I'm perfectly safe with. Who can help?
Why is she okay to have the wolves protect her there, but then later on she's like, no, you guys can't handle vampires?
Because it's one vampire. She's like, oh, well, at least they can handle one, but not a whole army.
It's stupid. Then there's another confrontation kind of between Edward and Jacob. Where
at the house, because Jacob comes over to the house to get the scent.
Yeah, and that's where you have the stupid line about fucking... From now on, I'm Switzerland.
Yeah, because they won't stop fighting.
I know. I guess she wants them to stop fighting over her. But she's not fucking Switzerland. No. Because if she was Switzerland, she wouldn't be going out with either of them. Nope. But she's going out with Edward. So she's not. She's more like Ireland. Yeah. She's shot at airport. Yeah, she's more exactly. Yeah, she's more like Ireland in World War II with a biased neutrality. Yeah, biased heavily towards Edward.
Yeah, we've always been biased in our way. We just don't have the manpower. Yeah, and then other parts of the country took a like Nuri. We're like, we're technically in the south for the purposes of the Blitz.
Now, and I'm pretty sure I'm Homer thinking back on his drunken night before with scene missing here, because the next thing I have in my notes is giving out about them and their PDA that was given out with the big up to I love you, where she goes off with Jacob.
Yeah, because they finally agree that like if she spends time on with the pack, like she'll be safe while they go off to hunt or whatever, and they're dropping them off at the border in his little sporty Volvo. Which he keeps driving aggressively, but it's a Volvo.
The only reason I think there's a scene missing there is because when she says she's Switzerland, it's nighttime, and then when she goes off with Jacob, I think it's the next day.
Yeah, but they make arrangements or whatever.
Anyway, they have their little, I'll miss you.
And then he like blah, blah, wears blah, blah. The face off her in a really uncomfortable manner on the side of the road, and then like drives aggressively.
It's just it's
like the aggressive driving. It's such a little hissy fit thing to do.
Oh, and the big kiss is only to annoy Jacob. Yeah. Like it's pathetic. So she goes off with Jacob, and she gets to learn about the tribe history.
Yes, the tribe history is so fun. I love Gil Birmingham telling a story.
Yes, I'm down for all of it up to the point where the third wife kills herself.
Yeah, that's a bit ridiculous. But also, lead singer of Bauhaus.
Yes.
As an oldie vampire.
For like 2 seconds.
It's like literally the only other movie he's ever been in. He was in The Hunger, which was also a vampire film in the 80s, but I'm pretty sure the only reason he was in that was because, David Bowie.
Well, I mean, if you're going to put him in any films, it might.
And he's a vampire in it singing Bela Lugosi is dead in a vampire bar. Like, it's a bar frequented by immortals, and he's like doing his thing.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yay, Bauhaus!
For a fantastic song, if anybody doesn't know it.
Bela Lugosi.
I think it's dead. The Ghost of Bela Lugosi. Is the name of the song. Great song. Anyway.
Oh yeah. Super goth. You got to do all the fancy dancing under the bridge.
Come on, I want to get through this piece of shit. No, it is a great song, but...
Yeah, it's a piece of shit.
The film is a piece of shit. The song is fantastic. Yeah, no, I like the history. That's our first origins.
Yeah.
Is the history of the tribe. I like it.
And how the spirit warriors.
Yeah, whenever they kind of feel the threat of vampires, the
third
magic
wife's
activates.
Sacrifice would be okay if there wasn't bodies like ripped apart, and you could be like, oh, okay, fresh blood. But she's already in a killing frenzy. Yeah,
she's killed everybody, and more to the point, she's not like the last living person, because just as she's about to stab herself, somebody runs behind her.
Yeah, like there's still like tribes people running around. It's not like later on where she literally is the only person in the area. The only other
person, and it's a werewolf and 3 dead people.
Yeah.
But, and it's only, the stupidness of the third wife is only brought into stark view at the end, because Bella cuts herself.
Yeah,
and it's enough
she's
to
like
distract
full
the
on
vampires.
stab herself in the...
She doesn't have to kill herself to do it. But, I get, sacrifice helped him win. That's fine. And it does set up the ending of the film.
Yeah, it gives her the idea.
It's just that third wife wasn't the smartest. Probably why she was the third wife.
Yeah.
We cut then to Seattle. And we get to see...
Bit more carnage. And Jodelle Friedland.
Yes.
Brie Tanner.
Yeah. Jodelle Friedland, who has previously appeared on this in Silent Hill.
Yep.
And I think
Stargate.
Something else?
All the Stargate.
Yeah.
All the Stargate. She's
a couple
great.
of times. She's a fantastic actress.
Sharon?
Sharon? Rose? But she is... Well, she's kind of just a nobody in this film. She doesn't get a name or anything like that, but it's just they're kind of cutting back to show that the newborn army is building, and they're also they don't know what's going on or why they're being turned.
And they're
hard
also
to control because
and
there's
they're
2
super
fighting
strong.
behind them.
And one clean punches part of the
her
head off.
I liked that.
They're getting the whole, they're like almost like a stone texture. That's coming across a lot more. They had a little bit in the last one.
Yeah.
Where you could get the cracks and everything, but in this in particular, him getting half the head punched off him.
Well, and also
it's like how you would shoot a bust or something.
When Gil is telling the story, he's talking about...
They were cold like stone.
Yeah, they're cold and like they were made of stone or whatever.
And it took our best spirit warriors to pull them apart, but
they get it.
You could only destroy them by burning
They get
it.
that aspect of it right in this, and particularly later on in the
Carla,
the big fight.
Jasper just running and just punching through that guy's face.
No, it's the sound effect of it actually sounds like stone being broken
Foley
apart.
has so much fun on this.
Yeah, they've gotten it right in this, and there is a feeling of weight behind it when they are punching heads through, and it does sound like concrete getting ripped open. Like,
you guarantee you Foley were off somewhere with a whole load of marble busts just shattering them on the floor.
Yeah, and then we cut away from Seattle, and that's where the Cullens are talking about the newborn and the army,
and you start to get Jasper's backstory as well about him, and you don't get his until afterwards, but because she's like, how do you know so much about this?
Yeah,
but about the fact that they're going to need, they're building an army.
Yeah.
And they're coming for somebody, and they're the only clan that's close by, so they must be coming here. And they're still like, we don't know who could be behind it.
Yeah, that's where they're like, even though...
we don't know what they're coming for. And it's like, even though Victoria has been making frequent incursions into the area.
But then...
Yeah, none of them are that smart, to be honest.
We're treated to more bullshit talk about vampires, Bella getting turned into a vampire and why Edward won't do it. And it's really starting to annoy me because... philosophically speaking.
The souls.
All the stuff about the soul is just, it's kind of
I'd still think
it's a purely academic argument. Because if...
Carlisle has proven he has one because he's been able to divert his nature.
Yeah, if
Like, he's compassionate, he's empathetic, he strives to heal, like, he's always been a doctor or a healer or something like that, and he understands negotiation and trying to avoid violence. Now, if he has to resort to violence, he will.
Yeah, but
it is very much a last resort. But
in Edward's view, vampires are soulless monsters because they are inherently evil, or prone to inherent evil. So are humans. Humans are also prone to do really, really, really bad things, and it's the measure of a good human when they don't do things like that and they do positive things. But as a vampire, he's also been doing that. So I don't see how he's functionally any different. And if he
has Edward been doing positive things? I think he's just been existing.
Well, yeah, but then Carlisle.
Carlisle is the only one who's been doing anything remotely positive. The rest of them have just been masquerading as teenagers for years.
But it's not... It's just the whole soul thing is really stupid. I know it's to do with his belief, but then I was saying if he's worried about taking her soul, he's going to turn her into an immortal being, so she's not going to die to go to hell. It's just stupid.
I saw a really, really interesting TikTok that was talking about this because obviously Stephanie Meyer, Mormon, there's a lot of Mormon overturn and stuff like this. In this was that there's a very specific type classification of angel in Mormonism.
Yeah.
Basically it's basically the vampires. And if you go back, and I meant to do for this, and look at it like they're not vampires, that they're this angelic being that is kind of similar to the Grigori in classic kind of theology of the Watcher Angels. The ones that actually ended up teaching man all the various ways and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're basically... are written exactly like how these angels are.
They sound like some shitty angels.
Yeah, they do. I haven't looked into them that much because Mormonism scares the life out of me, and I don't want to end up on a watch list by going to too many of their websites.
Yeah, but just the whole back and forth about this whole thing, it's just, to me, it annoys me so much because it's just a purely academic, philosophical argument that has no bearing on their actual reality.
Automatic doors still open for you? Yeah, then you're good.
It's
because we learned long, long ago that that's the measure of having a soul.
It's just the back and forth. I can't wait until she actually gets turned into a vampire so we can stop this shit.
It's not until the very last one.
Oh, great.
It's okay, she gets snapped in half before that.
Hooray! Stop telling me the best bits of the films that I haven't seen yet. So after their annoying talk, she goes off for another day with Jake, and Jake tries to force feelings out of her and then tries to force a kiss on her.
Yeah, he gets a little bit annoyed because he's like, oh my god, I didn't think it was just going to be a month, come here, blah.
Yeah, it's just, I'm like, fair enough if you think she has feelings for her. Let her figure it out herself.
Yeah, instead of
face
grab and non-consensual.
Yeah, I understand where he's coming from in as much as, he knows that she has feelings for him. And he is right. And he just wants her to acknowledge them so that she can make...
Yeah, because he's all big on the whole, you love me and you just don't understand. And if you gave this, an idea, maybe you might change your mind.
I think that's it. He's like, at the minute you're choosing Edward and ignoring me as a possibility.
You're completely blinkered to that possibility that there could be something. Because to be honest, at least with him, you don't have to be wrapped up like a burrito in 14 blankets to have a snuggle.
But I think his kind of his thinking is well, at least if she acknowledges her feelings for me and then chooses Edward, I know I've done everything I could have. Yeah,
but she's not even giving it a chance.
He's just going about it really bad
He just wants
way.
A fighting chance.
And he's just going about it a terrible way. But then that kind of brings me on to, I know they have a few conversations like this. But I'm
sorry, but after she punches him in the face because he tries to kiss her.
Yeah.
And then they have that really, really funny conversation outside the house with Charlie. Because Charlie's trying to break up the fight because Edward's like, you ever try and do anything? Blah, 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 blah. And Charlie's like, what's the fuck's going on? And Jake's and Bella's like, oh God, let the ground just open up and swallow me. And Jake's like, I kissed her.
And
Charlie's like, what? And Charlie's secretly delighted.
Yeah, I think so.
Does Charlie want his child to end up with his best friend's child, who's clearly a better person for her? Yes!
Yeah.
But Charlie's like, yay! But I gotta fucking sort this out. Shit.
But just to go back to the previous thing about Jacob's feelings and stuff. Well, actually, no. Firstly, how come she can slap one of the werewolves in the last film and the werewolf
just gets angry at her,
but his face moves?
Yeah,
from the slap. Whereas when she punches Jacob, she breaks her hand.
Big square jaw.
it's just inconsistency in the film. Now that we know about imprinting.
Yeah, he's basically
irresponsible.
said to her that he hasn't imprinted on her. So what's to stop her becoming Leah?
Exactly. He knows about the whole
because I don't want to be Leah.
Yeah, he knows about the whole Sam, Leah, Emily thing. Because he's got a direct line to it. He says that. He's like, it's in the tent all the time. And I think he uses it as part of the reason why...
well-balanced member of that pack must be going fucking apeshit because you got Jake going... Bah, 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 bah. You've got Leah going... Sam, 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 Sam. And then you've got Sam going...
Yeah.
Like, I have a hard enough time in my own head without having, like, other people's thoughts intruding on them. Like, that to me is just like, that is actually a nightmare. Like, no, get out of my head. Like, get out of my head, Charles!
Well, that's
tinfoil hats at the ready.
No, but that's why that is absolutely why I always thought, before I ever watched these films, I had vague ideas of what was going on. Yeah. I knew he could read thoughts, Edward, but couldn't read hers.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, cool. Not cool, but that makes sense as to why he's so obsessed with this girl, because
he hasn't got a leg up with her. He's got to deal with her like a normal individual. Like the rest of us, like plebs.
Kira, if you could hear everybody's thoughts all day long, all the time, and never block them out, if you met somebody whose thoughts you couldn't read, you'd be like, peace and serenity. I can just think to myself.
Suki and Bill in True Blood.
Is that a
she can't read vampire. The vampires are like little dead spots to her, and that's why she gravitates towards them, because it gives her peace and quiet.
Because it makes sense, yeah, because you would. And I thought that they never go there with this.
No.
Or they might in future films, but so far they haven't. And I was like, surely that would be one of the big draws about her.
I think there's a little bit in the first film where he's like, I can't figure you out.
Yeah, he says, I can't figure you out, but not like, I'm
and that's it because I can't flip through your brain.
Yeah, but sorry, that's not what I was trying to give out about.
I think that him not being able to read her thoughts actually makes him worse.
It does. It absolutely does.
Because he's like, you have to tell me.
Yeah, you have to tell me how much you love me.
You have to tell me all these things.
But, back to the whole imprinting thing and Jacob's irresponsibility, because he leads into his speech by being like, I know you can love two people at once because I've seen it with Sam, Emily and Leah.
Yeah.
He loves both of them. He just chose one. Well, he didn't really have a choice.
He didn't really have a choice. Yeah, one overshadows the other. But yeah, you can love two people at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and that's his point. But then he's not considering the imprinting aspect of it, which is he says he's admitted he hasn't imprinted on anybody yet because you'd know if I had.
Yeah.
So if he hasn't imprinted on Bella, I assume it's not going to happen.
No, I don't think. I think it's as soon as you see them.
Yeah, as soon as you see them.
Because that's the whole thing is that Emily's not from their tribe. She's like a cousin of somebody. Yeah. So she came to visit and Sam saw her.
Oh, I thought it was...
And was like...
I thought it was Sam and Leah were going out before they were werewolves. He turns into a werewolf, and now that he's a werewolf, he then imprinted on this.
Yeah, no, but
woman.
He did.
But it was because he had turned into a
werewolf that gave him the imprinting. Yeah.
Which is what's the story with Jacob.
Yeah.
So he should know if he gets with Bella, he's eventually going to imprint on somebody else and leave her.
What does he think his fucking strength of will is greater?
He keeps going on about fucking not wanting to hurt her in the last film and a bit in this film, and like.
That's going to hurt her, dude. Just be her friend. She's going to, be her friend.
Why? I know you have feelings for her, but you should... But that you can control, but you should consider this whole imprinting thing is going to mess things up for you if you do get together. Anyway, sorry.
No, the imprinting thing is really, really fucked up. It's so fucked up.
So they go back.
Full on ick with the imprinting.
And they bugger off back to the Cullens' house.
Well, they have to, because she needs to fix her hand. So it's like, I'm going to take you back to Dr. Cullen.
Oh, of course, yeah.
To put a splint on her hand.
Yeah, Carlisle will fix it up. And while she's there, Emmett's a little bit nice and fun with her. He's like...
Oh, the banter with Emmett. Emmett, because that's the thing that, Emmett's supposed to be this big, jovial... He was a farmhand. He's a good old country boy. He's just
you get it. Yeah, you've seen him.
He's a golden retriever.
You've seen him have the bants with the others, and now he's starting to have the bants with her. And he's like,
he's a golden retriever human.
But he tries to. I can't remember what he says, but he tries to make fun of her for doing something silly, and that's how she broke her wrist. And she's like, "Oh no, I slapped a werewolf," and he's like, "Damn, that's badass." And says, you're going to make a deadly newborn, which pisses off Rosalie, and she storms off.
And then you get
Bella goes to follow her, and you get her backstory where she's like, I don't hate you. I'm jealous of you.
I don't particularly like you, but I don't hate you.
I'm jealous of you, and I'm upset because you're about to give up the thing that I'm jealous of without considering it.
Yeah, because she was like, all I wanted in my life was a husband of my own who kissed me when he came home and my own kids.
Yeah,
and to
now
grow old and to watch
them.
my grandkids. And yeah, like it is like she was raised, you can kind of tell like from the era she's raised in. That was everything she was reared to be.
Yeah, and she throws it in then the other side of it when Bella tries to be like, oh, that's fine, that's what you really wanted, but all I really want is Edward. And she's like, yeah, now you do. You don't know what it's like to be a vampire.
No,
and when you become a vampire,
she said there's one thing you'll want more.
Yeah, when you become a vampire, you're going to want blood more than Edward. And
like, and she does say like Emmett Emmett helped, but it's never been good. The only thing she ever wanted in life was to have kids. And she said like, and she even says, she's like, Carlisle thought he was doing the best for me.
Yeah, when he turned
like me. She would have rather bled out on the street.
Well, now.
Yeah.
With hindsight. But hindsight's 2020, because I'm assuming at the time she was like, please don't let me die.
Yeah, I don't want to, yeah, like in fairness, you don't want to die.
I do kind of wish we got to see a little bit more of her actual rampage.
Yeah, because in the book she talks about how she stalks each person that's like of his group of friends who was there that night.
Yeah.
So he knows she's coming for him.
Well, you get that impression. Yeah.
And then in the book, I think he's holed up in a bank vault with like guards and stuff like that, which is just so fun. And the police, her wiping the police out and everything, and then arriving in the wedding dress, being like, I was a touch theatrical.
Then we go back to Seattle to see Riley having a hard time of keeping them under control.
And he's like, oh, just clean it up.
He's actually, maybe that's why she chose him, because he's disciplined because
he's doing
what he's supposed to do.
Yeah,
he's
keeping them in line.
He's as newborn as the rest of them. Maybe he has a few days on them or a couple of weeks on them.
Yeah, he's doing his thing.
And we see that some of the Volturi are watching from a distance, and they're hedging their bets a little bit.
Yeah, well, you got the thing about Arrow's decisions are being watched, which means we have to make the decision.
Yeah, because I get the impression, is it Felix?
Yeah.
I get the impression Felix thinks that
is the big tall.
Yeah, I get the impression he seems to be just an enforcer.
Yeah.
But I get the impression he thinks he should be in charge.
Yeah, and no, Jane is. Jane is very much
Jane's
in
like,
charge.
allow me to demonstrate why I'm in charge,
and
Felix.
Like,
you ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, because even her brother's like, you better make a decision, dear sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I ain't fucking with you.
But yeah, so we find out the Volturi are there and they're watching, and they're either there to kill them all. She's like, well, we can destroy them or let them do what they were created
fulfill
for.
their purpose. So, at the same time, it's like we could get rid of two problems.
Yeah, we'll let them go and take out the Cullens and
then
Bella,
we'll wipe
and
up.
then we'll swoop in at the end and
which is pretty much what they do.
Yeah, well, yeah, but they're hoping to swoop in at the end and take out the newborns who have killed the Cullens.
Yeah,
but all they do is swoop in and have a bit of a standoff. But we'll get there.
Get sassy.
So yeah, they.
Well, you got the werewolves and the vampires finally. Well, the graduation party. You got graduation.
Well, the graduation, the speech, which is decent.
Yeah.
But we talked about it already.
Jacob gives her a little bracelet with a little wooden wolf on it that he's carved as a graduation present.
At the party. when
when
Jessica and Tiggy are like, you showed up, and you were like, of course you made it to her boyfriend's house's party. And I was like, yeah, but at the same time, it's the two of them.
Yeah.
They probably were expecting Bella and Edward to just fuck off somewhere else.
Yeah. We'll be up a tree.
But, Jake,
and then
Jake shows up.
Jake shows up with the other two, and he's like, oh, you invited me? And she's like, me punching you in the face.
I uninvited you.
And he's like, fuck off.
Well, no, he apologises.
Yeah.
And then says he made her a bracelet, and she's like, thank you. And then she spots Alice having a vision and runs off to Alice to see.
And the boy, she's like, oh, she's like, the decision's been made or whatever. And
no, the vision she sees there is of him passing around the scenty thing, I think.
And then Jake's like, what the fuck's going on? And then they're like, oh, it's newborns. Blah,
blah.
We'll need to train their newborn army. They're stronger than us. And then we got the great bit where they come together for the training.
I like some of that.
And Jasper going around in his very erect
it was
military stance and becoming very confident.
It's nice to get a little bit more out of Jasper than just, I want to eat my brother's girlfriend.
Yeah. And not in that way.
Yeah.
Somebody really should, because that girl is tense.
Yes.
Dropping the hand can solve a whole lot of problems in this.
Oh, cold vampire hands?
Maybe
not.
No. Cold is good in some places, but not there. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Hey, you're the one who suggested it.
I know, but I just thought about the later films and mechanics and was like... Yeah, that's cold.
Bad enough that we have to keep talking about these films without you flashing forward to the films I haven't seen yet and extending me having to talk about this film. Moving on.
Yeah, so werewolves and the vampires training montage. Super
it's
fun.
really just the werewolves watching.
Yeah, because the wolves are like, and the werewolves also gathering data.
We get what would be, it's not in the film, but it's one of the best bits of behind the scenes that I've ever seen from the Twilight.
Oh, the green suit where she's patting him on the head.
Taylor Lautner in the green suit with her patting him. It's so funny.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be a bit weirded out. Like, she's petting him like a dog. He's in a wolf form and he's like kind of resting his head on you, but he's still your best friend.
Pat.
Yeah, he's your best friend. Don't patronize him like that. But she does it even worse later. And
then we got to see all the vampires kicking shit out of each other. Super fun.
Yeah, the training was kind of fun, and then we get Jasper's backstory because she goes off to talk to him, and she's like, "How do you know all this stuff?"
Yeah, like, and then he shows her arms, and he's supposed to be absolutely covered in bites. In these like scarred bites. Like, he has a good few of them there, and they're nice because you've got like full molar indentation and stuff. You don't see it for very long, but like he has some proper chew marks. Is that he's supposed to be covered in these bites, and they're his battle scars because vampires just use teeth and hands.
Yeah, but they've never really expressly shown that.
Yeah.
So I was like, did he get bitten and turned by a shitload of vampires?
No, this is like in the vampire wars that were happening.
Yeah, and then yeah.
And I was like, I wish we'd gotten more of that. Because we got a little bit of it, of him having to train them and how Maria turns.
Well, you told me recently that Twilight's getting remade as an animated TV series, and I was like, that's a bit weird. But then, then I watched this, and I was like, actually, do you know what? I can see
just
how
have
maybe
all of Jasper's backstory.
But you could work in a lot more of that kind of stuff into a TV series without it seeming incredibly dragged on.
Yeah, the same with Alice's backstory, because she was.
Do you get Alice's backstory?
She was psychic as a...
No, but
not in
the
this,
movies. No.
Remember,
we're waiting until the very end, and then I'm going to ask you about things that didn't get addressed in the films.
Because her backstory's fun too. So is Carlisle's. Like before he was like turned.
Yeah. I do like his backstory. Jasper's.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's just a little
I like
different.
as well, it's a little bit self-deprecating that he's like, I was the youngest cat major without ever having seen any action.
It's an obvious kind of parallel towards what's been going on with Victoria.
Yeah.
You don't know that yet, but with Victoria and Riley.
Riley's doing what he used to do, and because you find out a little bit more about him being able to control emotions as well, he was perfect for controlling her new vampire armies.
Yeah,
and then he had to kill them.
Yeah,
and he fell to everything.
Yeah, because she never let them live past their strength, basically, which I like. Nice and ruthless. But yeah, he kind of says, that's when I was such a puppet, and I found Alice, and everything was good. And then she has that dream that I talked about earlier. That's really fucking cool looking.
With the shudder.
With the whispering of do this thing for me.
And then he's all
she
like,
sees...
nah.
No, but she sees Victoria being the one whispering in his ear, and she wakes up and she's like, she's the one who's responsible. I'm like, finally, you've caught up with the audience. Fucking morons. And is that where... Oh no, it's a bit later before Edward gives her the bracelet.
Well, he's already pissy about the bracelet because when they're walking up to the training... He literally grabs her arm. He doesn't take her hand. He literally grabs her
He does an awful lot of grabbing her by the arm.
By the arm, by the forearm.
No, sometimes he grabs her further up. But there's an awful lot of grabbing her by the arm.
Yeah, it's either forearm or upper arm, and he looks at it and she's like, it's a graduation present.
Cop onto yourself. Two of them...
Fuck off.
The two of them talk about... he wants to hide her away. She doesn't want to hide. He decides, look, I'll hide with you.
Well, she's like, if it's... Because he's like, it won't be, you can't be there because it's too dangerous for you. But we'll be fine. With the wolves now, we'll have an advantage and we'll be easy. And she's like, well, if it's so easy, then you don't have to be there. She's like, it can't be both. It can't be so dangerous
too dangerous for me, but too easy for you. And he's like,
you.
yeah, it is. That's exactly what it is. And she's like, just come on. So he agrees to
stay away from it all with her.
Well, yeah, to stay away from it all with her. And they go and make their plan with Jasper. And they go out to the field and they're like, right, well, we'll draw them here with
because
Bella's
it's away
scent.
from the town. We don't want townsfolk getting involved. It's not out of the way because we're going to have to burn them.
Well, they can also hide their secret weapon until it's necessary.
Yeah, which is the wolves.
But they're like, we need to get Bella's scent
to here, but no further.
Yeah, so they decide that the best way to do that is to have Jacob carry her because
the wolves
stink so badly to them. Well, they both seem to stink terribly to each other.
The vampires,
but the real stinky one is Bella.
Have like an antiseptic. They're like a bleach, like it burns the nose.
All right.
Yeah. Whereas the wolves just smell like big old wet dog.
So yeah, he carries her and they have a little bit more of a chat. They kind of are starting to patch things up, but he's still trying. She goes home to get some bits.
Alice is there setting up their alibi for the weekend.
Yes. And then her...
And Charlie's like the sister I like.
Yeah.
She's fine. Keep her. Don't like him. And it's like this being the sister that whisked your daughter off to Italy with no notice. You shouldn't like her, dude.
But yeah, Bella goes in and then has a chat with her dad about the fact that she is still a virgin.
Yeah.
And Charlie isn't picking up on the hints until she expressly says she's a virgin.
I'm a virgin!
It's only really a short thing where she's like, oh, Edward's old school. And he's like, what? Dad, I'm a virgin. Run away.
Ugh. And it's like old school. Or liking him more now. Because she gets all freaked out because Alice is like, oh yeah, you're supposed to be, you're having a sleepover of mine because I told your dad that the family's all going camping and I don't want to go. So you're going to stay with me because I don't want to be in the house on my own, essentially.
Yeah.
And then she's like, actually, no, you'll have the house to yourselves tonight. And she gets all weirded out. And it's like you haven't been hanging out in like the forest and shit.
It's almost like all of a sudden just because...
oh my God, there's a bed!
Just because somebody went, hey, you're going to have the house alone. She's like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. It's like, you could have... I don't know, maybe Americans don't do it in the forest like Irish people do.
They have cars.
Well, I don't know. Well, but anyway, yeah.
If you've never had a quick ride in a forest, you're missing out.
So they go to the Cullen house and Edward and Bella talk about sex and virginity. Edward gives her a bracelet because he's a big fucking
No, he doesn't give her a bracelet. He puts a charm on. He says he has to be represented.
Oh, is it the same bracelet?
It's the same bracelet.
Oh, that's even fucking worse.
He just puts it opposite to it. His little diamond. His little diamond.
He gives her his own
no,
bracelet.
He adds it to it.
Worse.
Yeah.
That was one of the bits that annoyed me so bad. It's like, dude, she's actually going out with you. She's all but agreed to marry with you. She wants to be turned into a vampire so she can spend eternity with you. Let the guy who has a crush on her give her a fucking bracelet without you being like, no, you have to have my bracelet too.
I need some representation.
He's a sap.
Yep.
They talk about sex and marriage and...
he leads her on.
Well, the back and forth about sex and marriage and what it means and this, that and the other is kind of annoying. But then she's like, yeah, look, just have sex. He's like, it's too dangerous. And I'm like, just...
yeah, she's...
tie your hands behind your back and lie down and let her go on top.
Yeah, crushed pelvises.
Just let her go on top.
Death by snoo snoo.
Well, no, if he's on top, it might be death by snoo snoo. But if he just lies there and does nothing... yeah. Which, I mean, like, for a
soaking.
guy...
Again, religion that brought us soaking.
But the guy... like, a guy who's about to be told, lie there and do nothing while I have sex with you, should be happy.
Yeah.
But he's like, no. And she's like, can you just try?
Because at the very least, if he upwardly thrusts a little bit aggressively, all he's going to do is launch her off him.
Well, he might launch her straight into the ceiling if he thrusts particularly hard.
So funny. Oh my God.
So strap him to the bed then. And then if he thrusts, it just means the bed will jump a little bit. But yeah, no, you're right. He does lead her on because she's like, can you not just try? And
she's
hold
like, you
back
can
so
buy
that we
me
can
a
have...
new safe car. I'll go to whatever expensive university you want.
I'll do all the stupid, boring shit you want me to do.
Try.
But you have said you want me to... the reason you don't want to turn me...
because my fingers be bleeding from all the diddling.
Tape them up. But she says, like, you want me to try all this stuff. And
you want me to have every human experience.
What's
That's
the
like
most big teenage, like, coming of age human experience you can have if not losing your virginity? So do it to me, boy.
Yeah.
And she says, just try.
Like, in fairness, at this point, what does she need? Like, a little, like, red carpet, like, welcome banner.
Well, that's what he needs because he's put it up on such a fucking pedestal.
Yeah.
But yeah,
like,
she does...
get over yourself, mate. It's going to be disappointing if that's how... what you have perceived it.
Well, speaking of disappointment, she says try, and he doesn't say I will try. He doesn't say I won't.
He leans in for a big passionate kiss. With her. Yeah.
Yeah, he leans in for a big passionate kiss, and then she starts to take her clothes off, and he's like, "Stop!" And she's like, "Do you want me to do it?" And he's like, "No, I don't want to do it at all." It's like, then why didn't you fucking
not
say?
Tonight.
Like, if somebody
you could
says,
have just been like, "Oh, okay, I agree, we will try, but not tonight. Just come and have a cuddle."
You don't do what this dickhead does.
Yeah, you don't lead her on. And then be like, not tonight. And then be all like, oh, if it was back in my day, I would have courted you and done this and this and this. And then he finally pulls out a ring.
Then he finally proposes. Yeah, he's like, let me give you the blue balls and then I'm going to propose to you.
Big old lady blue balls.
He finally proposes properly.
And she does say yes, because she's a sap.
Well, I mean, I thought she had already said yes, but I just wasn't paying enough attention. And then we cut to Riley and Vic again, and they actually talk plans.
Yeah.
Well, we get confirmation that it is, but we knew all along.
Yeah.
And she's like, I love you, and I just feel so... Well, we find out what her manipulation of him is that she's told him that the Cullens are after her, and the only way for the two of them to be
and
safe...
they have these abilities and things like that, and that's why she's like, we can't...
That's why, because they can track me, you have to do it.
And my friend knew this, and now he's dead. But he's dead now.
Yeah, it's just a short bit, and we cut back to Forks, and Bella's leaving an old blood trail.
Yeah, she's just rubbing the hands off everything.
They go off up the mountain, and
well, they have a big old kiss
tent.
and cuddle before they go, and he's like, I will see you later. And
oh yeah, because Jacob has to actually take her up the mountain
and
for reals this time.
he's going to go a long way around to the campsite so that, there's no scent.
Yeah, they're not tracking another vampire scent. They get there.
There's a big cuddly cuddle because, oh my god, it's only been like 3 hours.
Yeah, and Jacob says, look, I'm going to stay here tonight, and then tomorrow I'm going to go down for the battle, and Seth's going to swap places with me. He says Seth's going to spell or something really weird.
Seth's going to spell me.
Which, I don't know, whatever. Slang that I don't understand.
Yeah.
The weather turns bad. Bella is nearly freezing. Jake comes in, and Edward's like, don't you even fucking kiss that.
There's a big fucking blizzard going on.
Yeah.
The whole place covered in snow, and she's like teeth chattering, and Edward's got no body heat.
Yeah, well, that's it. He comes in, and obviously his immediate thought, because Edward is like, don't even go there. But his immediate thought is, she's
Survival
freezing.
101.
She's freezing.
Strip off and get into a sleeping bag with somebody.
Before he even came into the tent, I said that. I was like, she's going to freeze. Should Jacob not come in with his super body warmth and keep her warm?
Because even him being in the tent would raise the temperature of the tent.
Yeah, and then when he does get in and keep her warm, we were like, well, you know what is better for hypothermia? It's another
strike against the fact that Edward doesn't really know anything about humans. Like, he should have, they knew a big storm was coming in.
Edward's lack of preparedness notwithstanding, I was like, Jacob should take off his clothes and so should Bella. and then Edward, literally as soon as I said it, Edward was like, you stop thinking that right now.
And he's like, what?
Skin on skin would be better. And I was like, see, he knows. But then Bella falls asleep, and because she's asleep, the two of them don't have to have a dick swinging contest. So instead they have an actual conversation.
Yeah.
And work some shit out like rational human beings.
That's like,
we both love her. Neither of us really wants to hurt her. So we'll respect whatever her choice is.
Yeah, and I think it's more finding out from Edward. Jake's like, if she chooses me.
Will you? Yeah. Because,
will
Jacob...
you, not kill me? Basically.
Well, Edward knows everything Jacob is thinking, and Jacob knows that. So he's like, I don't, you know what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And especially when Edward's like, oh, keep your hands to yourself. It's like, you can read his thoughts. You will know if he's going to try anything.
Yeah, calm down.
But yeah, they have a proper conversation. And I think sort of a bit of a shit out.
And then Edward immediately goes and puts his foot in it the next day.
The next morning ruins it.
Because Bella very specifically does not want to tell Jacob that she's agreed to marry him.
Yeah.
Until after the battle, so that he will have a clear head and he won't do anything stupid.
Yep.
So then Edward's like, oh my god, it was the top 10. It was top 10 nights with you. The top one being when you agreed to marry me, Mrs. Cullen. And she's all like, it's the 21st century. We don't take our husband's surnames anymore. I did. But I have a horrible maiden name that got me bullied in school, so I was glad to be rid of it. I went by my name in Irish for so long because I hated my surname that much.
Yeah, but just just after we
I was happy to be rid of it, but that was my choice.
Yeah. But just after we think that Edward has maybe turned the corner and stopped acting like such a childish gobshite, no, he makes sure that Jake overhears them saying that they're engaged. Jake runs off. Bella treats him like a dog.
Jacob, stay!
Jacob, stay! And I genuinely thought that was because there's a pause after that, and I thought she was supposed to be like, oh crap, I just talked to him like a dog. Yeah. But you were like, no, that's
just the way she delivers that line. I know, it's hilarious.
It's like, she's telling a dog to stay. I thought
it's fucking brilliant. Hilarious. It is. It's one of the best pauses I've ever heard. It was just like, Jacob, stay.
And he thinks that she's finally admitted his feelings. I think she's just kiss me so that he'll stay.
Yeah, no, it is. It's oh, okay, no, I'm marrying him, but make out with me. I don't know.
It's stupid.
It's stupid and angsty, and if I went to school with them and had to listen to this drama constantly, I wouldn't. I'd have just been like, I hate that girl.
Yeah, and I'm out of here. But you know Jacob was thinking as loud as he could when he was kissing Bella.
Yeah.
But then it's time for the actual battle. Huzzah.
Yeah, that does happen. That is quite fun.
Yeah, the battle's kind of fun. Doesn't happen for
I do
too
like
long.
them going into the water and then coming out again.
Yeah.
Just them all striding out of the water. And that's when you get the fact that Howard Shore did the music for this is really, really evident. Especially when there's the big fly around of Edward stood up on the bluff. And you're like, oh yeah, there's Howard Shore.
There's the Howard Shore.
There's Howard Shore doing what he does best. Big, epic nature sweeping things.
Yeah.
Trying not to make it too Lords of the Ringsy.
But the battle commences down at the bottom of the mountain in the glade, in the big field.
Seth, because Seth, obviously, he's in wolf form, so he's there to kind of relay information, and Edward's telling Bella what's going on because he can read it out of Seth's mind.
And then he realises that Victoria had caught his scent and is coming for them.
It's like, shit, no, they found us.
Edward does a good bit of, running interference in their plan by... Basically, he almost convinces Riley that he's the puppet that he is.
Yeah.
But doesn't quite get it. Bryce Dallas Howard is absolutely not on set with anybody else.
No.
She is so green screened into that.
No, well, she was brought in to replace your one who was in the first movie, who was
the first two, yeah.
Because she had, I think it was scheduling conflicts with another film.
Oh, did I say Jessica again?
No, but you were calling her Jessica.
If at any point I mentioned Jessica and was talking about the evil vampire, I meant Victoria. My apologies.
No, who cares?
So Seth then jumps in and helps.
Yeah, he gets his moment. He's having great fun.
Yeah, Edward and Vic fight. Seth gets a bit of a kick and is knocked out for a moment. They seem to have the upper hand on Edward until Bella remembers the story and cuts herself.
No, I like the fact that Victoria goes to run and he's like, Edward's like, you're never going to get another chance like this. The baiting of her, I did like that. I was like, oh, that's nice. When he's like, you're never going to get another chance like this.
Yeah, but even then, that only works for a second. And as soon as she realises that she's probably going to lose, she tries to scarp her again.
Yeah, she's like, fuck this shit, I'm out of here.
But no, Bella does the old distraction with the blood technique.
There, it actually works.
It actually works.
Only human in how far?
I like the way Riley gets taken out. Seth just comes back and just drags him off screen.
Nom, nom, nom.
Cracks me up. Victoria gets her neck bitten and then her head ripped off and set on fire like fucking nothing. It's like flame on.
She was the most flammable vampire to ever exist.
Yeah, because they especially in...
Like, at least in Supernatural, they're like lighter fluid, then throw a lighter on him.
But in the first film, we see them like ripping up floorboards so they can burn James's body.
Yeah, and then they have a pyre as well down the bottom of the mountain where the main fight was taking place.
But a Zippo on a leather jacket is enough to set her into giant flames.
Yeah, she just goes poof.
And while I'm on the subject of James getting killed, Edward didn't do it.
Yeah, he's like, oh, you want to kill me for doing this and for doing that. We're like, nah, dude, you just kind of like angry snarled at him a little bit. And then Alice actually popped his head off.
He bit him in the neck and was probably about to kill him. He got the upper hand.
Yeah.
Then Carlisle shows up and is like, no, don't do it. And
remember who you are.
Yeah, and let's Alice, Jasper and Emmett be the ones who kill him. But Alice is the one who actually rips his head off. But... No, it's Edward. Edward was the one who was responsible for it all.
Edward killed my mate.
No, he didn't. Edward's girlfriend's attractiveness to your mate got your mate killed. There's something else that really bugged me about this film, and I only thought about it a second ago that I meant to bring up, but I can't remember. It's gone now. So many things annoy me about these films. So we cut back down to... they all run back down to the rest of the Cullens because Alice sends a message to... Somebody sends a message to Edward that they want him back down there because the Volturi are about to show up.
Yeah.
Yay.
And they're like, Volturi will not honour an alliance with the wolves.
Yeah, so wolves need to scarp her off.
Scarp her. Plus they've got, you get a little bit of like how Carlisle and Esme are because they come across Bree in the melee
of the battle.
And she's hiding.
They look at her and I went, they're going to adopt her too, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. They just cannot help themselves.
But before the Volturi show up, one last vampire makes an appearance.
Yeah, who's like been hiding in the
Leah
bushes.
goes for him. And
Sam tells her to stop.
But she's already gone for him when she tells her to stop. And then Jake jumps in and gets his ribs crushed by the vampire. And they take him all away before the Volturi show up. The Volturi show up and it's a bit of a standoff. They're like, what was all this about? And
it's not often
like,
that we're rendered useless.
You kind of know what this was about, I think, but maybe you don't. There's
no, you've got the whole if you showed up a half an hour earlier. Because they're like, it's very rare we see a coven survive an
attack like this, yeah.
And Carlisle's doing a little bit of diplomat by being like, no, surely if the Volturi knew, they would have stepped in.
They would have stepped in before now.
And Jane is like, takes the out.
Yeah, it is. I think it's a lot of people are
there's a lot of tension and
well, no, but I think everybody else knows that everybody else there is lying, and it's like if one of us brings up one lie, the whole house of cards is going to come tumbling down.
Yeah.
So they kind of leave it be, except for Bree.
Yeah, poor Bree.
Because they're like, no, we'll take care of her. She didn't know what she was doing wrong.
I did like the fact that when she was stood behind them and you can just see like it's like fucking like she's completely overwhelmed by the sounds, the smells.
Oh, the eyes are like darting around
she's
the
darting
place.
around,
like,
she just can't settle. She looks like she's tweaking and it's, she's so new, she hasn't even like adjusted to being outside, being in nature, like the noise of everything. She doesn't know what's going on.
No, she doesn't. And it doesn't really matter because she's not going to be around for much longer. No. Because they're like, no, we'll take care of her. She didn't know what she was doing. And Jane says the Volturi don't give second chances when there's a second chance standing right in front of her.
Yeah, well, I think that's part of it. They're like,
we're
watching you.
Yeah, well, they do. They're like, I see she's still human. And they're like, we've set the date. We've set the date. They haven't. Because after the Volturi kill Bree and bugger off...
Yeah.
Bella goes to see Jacob healing.
Yeah. Well, Carlisle, that's the thing, that's kind of like the turn in them, because Carlisle is like, all the bones on his right side have been crushed. They'll need to be reset before his healing kicks in, or his healing's already kicked in, they'll need to reset. And it's like, you can't stay here. And Sam's like, we'll take him back to Billy's. And Carlisle's, I'll
get there as soon as I can, yeah.
And Sam's like, good. Like, Sam's like, we looked out, we got a doctor who understands about werewolves.
I think also... Jacob's the only casualty of the fight we agreed to help you with. You'd better come over and make sure he's okay. But he's kind of okay and tries to bring up the subject of the two of them. And she's like, oh, we don't have to talk about it. And I could practically hear the screenwriter's smugness when Jacob delivers the line of, oh, I'd prefer to do all the re-breaking in one go. And there's some lines in films where you just know the screenwriter was like, oh, I'm so smart.
Oh,
because he's talking about his bones and his heart. Haven't I so clever?
Such a clue.
But that's where he's kind of like, now that you've admitted your feelings to me and still chose Edward, I'm going to leave it be. That was all I wanted, was for you to admit it and then make the decision.
Give it a chance, yeah.
Then I was incredibly happy because I dodged a bullet.
Well, there's that horrible bit as well. I actually feel really sad for Leah in that bit when they show up at the pack and everyone's at the house, because Leah stood apart from everybody else.
Because they're like, it's her fault.
Yeah. But she's so ostracised by everybody.
Yeah.
Because she's the only girl. She's the first female one, even though she's like direct lineage.
Yeah.
And they don't know, like, she doesn't fit in. She's a bit older than the rest of them as well. She's around Sam's age.
Yeah.
So, and she doesn't have a place. She's not like Sam's mate. She's not... She's still struggling to find her place and trying to prove it. And while everyone's kind of stood around comforting each other, she's very much separate to them all.
Yeah.
And my heart does hurt for her. It's not a fun place to be.
No. But the bullet that I dodged that I was referring to is when Bella and Edward set a date. And it's like 3 days off my birthday. And I was like, oh, thank fuck they did not get married on my birthday.
Because you were going to have a shit fit.
Oh, I would not have been happy. Oh, yeah, because
she's like, I'm not going to be like another year older than you.
Yeah.
She's like, it's going to be before my birthday.
That's
and like,
all
of her main reasoning for not getting married was like, in this day and age, if you get married that young, you're either pregnant, one of you's going into the military and you want to get military benefits, at least. Well,
she doesn't
US.
say that. That's just the case. But
yeah.
She just mentions the pregnancy thing.
Yeah.
That's earlier on.
Or you're incredibly religious.
But yeah, she finally kind of...
And just want to have sex.
Convinces him about turning into a vampire, because they're like, well, we set the date for the wedding and then you've said that we'll have sex after we get married because you're such a good fucking Christian boy. And then... She has the whole thing about how, she never felt normal. She never felt right in her own life. She always felt like she was stumbling through her own life, blah, 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 blah. And I feel...
That's because you're 18.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to feel like. It's normal.
Yeah.
But, yeah, she's like,
honestly...
Oh, but I finally felt like myself.
I think 30s was when I was finally like, do you know what? I'm cool with who I am.
Yeah.
It takes a while, and that also comes along with not giving a fuck about what other people think of you.
Well, she's definitely not there yet.
No. And by the time when you get to the I don't give a shit what other people think of me thing, it's incredibly liberating, and you're like, I'm happy with who I am, so fuck all of y'all.
Yeah, basically.
It takes a while to get there, though.
But yeah, she's like, and then I met you, and all the danger and whatnot and darkness in your world, I feel perfectly comfortably at home there, and now and that's why I want to be a vampire, not just because I love you, but because this is my world. I just didn't know it. And he's like, oh, okay, fair enough. So I will turn you, but first we should probably go and tell your dad.
Oh, we have to go and do something that's incredibly dangerous.
Yeah, and I was like, you said. If you met her when you were still human, you'd have done all the proper courting things and you'd have gone and asked her dad for permission.
Yeah.
You didn't do it this time.
Yeah.
I thought the implication was like he'll go and ask Charlie. No, they're already engaged. They've already set a date, and now he's going
you're
to
supposed to do that
Charlie.
before the asking.
But the film's over. Yay! Fucking hell. So yeah, slightly better.
Yeah, the story gets better. I think that's partially the directors coming in. It's the same screenwriter the whole way through.
Yeah, which I suppose I can understand that because
it keeps a lot of the tone the same. And things
and
like that.
The books were written by one person, so you'd get.
You get to see her in the next one. She's in the first one, but she's in the next one as a wedding guest.
Oh, hooray! Director cameos.
Yeah, apparently so you can shout at her.
No, it was better. There were some things that I actually liked about this. Some of the cinematography was genuinely really, really good. I quite enjoyed the backstories that we got for
that's what I'm saying. It was like all these characters are actually really interesting in their own right.
Yeah, if you took Bella and Edward and the love triangle out of it, it would probably be decent.
Instead of the two wet mops that are fucking masquerading
with their teenage bullshit, it's just terrible. They are terrible, and I can't imagine that. So I'm guessing in the last 2 films, it's all about their marriage, the baby, and stuff coming to a head with the Volturi.
Yeah.
Because thankfully, Victoria's out of the picture now. So I'm hoping we can get an actual bad guy who has some actual presence and agency. And
the Volturi.
I'm also hoping we get some more Michael Sheen, because he didn't really make an appearance in this one.
No. Volturi.
But yeah, no, I like the stuff around the newborn army was cool. I like the concept that they're stronger because
their human blood lingers in their tissues and it strengthens them.
Yeah, as opposed to just drinking it for sustenance. Yeah. It kind of makes sense. And obviously there's still some things that I very much didn't like. But still won't recommend it.
No. It would have been a very different film if they had been like Anne Rice style vampires.
Yes, definitely.
They don't have that urge.
I get the feeling this might be the one that I like the most. I could be wrong.
I think it's the one with the best rating on IMDb, and that's not saying a lot.
No, the first has the best rating.
They hover around a 4.
We talked about it, I think, last week, but the first one has the best rating, and then I think they're all lower except for, I think the last one has a similar rating to the first one.
I think that was just because it was over.
Yeah, maybe. I know I'm glad when they're over. But yes, so that was Eclipse.
Yeah, you and Robert Pattinson were glad when they were over.
Yeah, if I remember what it was, there was the one thing that really annoyed me that I haven't brought up. I'll bring it up next week.
Yeah.
Like I did this week with the fact that he hadn't gotten down on one knee when he proposed the last film.
Proposed, he demanded.
Yeah. So we'll be back next week with what is it? Breaking Dawn?
Part 1.
Part 1?
Yeah, because they decided to make it, 2 films.
Well, what was it? 4 books?
4 books, yeah.
So, look, I don't necessarily mind that it was split up into 2 because...
Oh, you will, because nothing happens in part 1.
No, I'm sure when I get to it I will. But in terms of adapting the final book in a series and splitting it up so that you can give it a bit more time and cover...
Harry Potter did it.
Yeah, Harry Potter did it. They did it with
But in fairness, the last Harry Potter book is like literally a doorstop. Like it is huge.
Look, if Peter Jackson can turn The Hobbit into 3 fucking movies
for no reason,
I'm sure they can justify turning Breaking Dawn into 2 films. But we'll see how I feel about that next week. Thank you for joining us as ever, guys. And in the meantime, if you want, you can head back and listen to our previous episodes, including the first 2 Twilight films, or our other podcast, Mono Rants the Boys, or you can come and chat with us on Twitter at RantsMono, on Instagram at monorants_the_boys, or you can send your own rants to monorantspodcast on gmail.com. And we'll chat soon. Bye bye.